Welcome to this episode of Sridhar on Selling. You would have observed that people who top in some other fancy institutes do not really do very well in life. Whether the toppers at Harvard, whether the toppers at IIT, IIMs, not all of them are CEOs. Similarly, we find that some of the brilliant salespeople over a period of time fall by the wayside. In my life, I can tell you, some of the salespeople whom I considered as role models when I started my career didn't reach very far. In fact, one of the key reasons for my success has been my hiring people who are smarter than me in sales. So what happens to these really smart people? They're intelligent, they know the product, they know all the right things to do, but they miss out on something. And that is, selling is not just talking. Selling is just not data. A lot of emotion is involved in buying. The buyer has to feel safe and happy buying from you. This is actually no rocket science. Every day in the vegetable market, every day in the fruit market, you go to your favorite vegetable seller or the fruit vendor and you tell him, give me good mangoes. What are you doing? You have expressed your trust in the seller. That trust is the key element in the transaction. The buyer has to feel that is in safe hands, that is not being taken for a ride. An over-intelligent person thinks he has all the answers, he knows everything, he thinks he knows slightly more than the customer himself, and as a result, he is not able to cope with silence from the customer. He constantly needs to talk. He constantly needs to be in action. He has to be constantly in the selling mode. The customer very often needs to ponder. He needs to think. He needs to weigh the options. And he is also assessing you. Do I believe this guy? Is he doing the right thing for me? If you go on talking, and talking even more heavily when you think that deal is getting delayed, you're ruining the deal. So understand that the customer is a human being. He or she wants to interact with people who can understand and reciprocate and give the correct kind of information at the correct point of time, and should also know when to keep quiet. Silence is a big thing that salespeople dread. Silence from the buyer, and they themselves cannot learn to be silent. A transaction happens when there is silence. The customer's brain cells are working, the levers are moving. You need to give that time to the customer for him to think that he has taken a sound decision. Don't make the customer feel that he is signing a deal under pressure. Keep that in mind. Selling is not just rattling figures, not trying to be smarter than the buyer, but trying to help the customer come at a right decision and win his trust. Winning trust is the most important thing in life. Winning trust is also the most important thing in selling. Once you won the trust of a buyer, you can go on selling to him forever and ever. Friends, let me add that consistency is more important than brilliance. Selling is a whole package. It's not just intelligence. It has to be humility. It calls for discipline. It calls, most importantly, empathy. Thank you very much. Keep watching Sridhar on Selling.